What should Real Madrid do differently, Galacticos, to avoid us fans suffering and all these unpleasantries we've seen in this season? And more than, dwelling in the mistakes of the past, we want to talk about what we should do different in the future. Basically for that, to avoiding us some more unpleasantries and bad days. We're here with one of our favorite pundits, Mateo, who is normally behind the camera, so now he's in front. So we've chosen some points that we think are key and structural things that we can improve to be a happier Real Madrid fans. Number one is the planning of the season, the squad planning and the planning of the year, and how we're going to face all the competitions and what players we're going to have for that.
Yeah, also, by the way, if you haven't done so, click up here, hit subscribe, like down below, leave your comments. We want to know what you think, like what are the ways that Real Madrid can come out of this situation, and at least for next season, start a little bit more seriously. So you were talking about planning. I think a very good example about, poor planning this season is the case of Marcelo. There's no natural substitute for Marcelo. He's obviously a key player, and we really feel it when he's injured. Now, we had Coentrao last season. For some reason that still boggles my mind, he was sent out on loan to Monaco, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And he was actually a very good player in my eyes. When he needed to come in and sub Marcelo, he did his thing. Defensively, he was definitely more solid, in my opinion, than Marcelo. There's no doubt that Marcelo is a way better player, but Coentrao was good. He was a good substitute. He didn't care about being a sub, and he was clearly a sub.
Yeah. And
for some reason, maybe this, in my opinion, this could be because of economic interest, because maybe from the marketing side, he was not a squeaky clean player like we liked him in Real Madrid. Either way, he was sent on loan. Right now, if Marcelo gets injured, we put Danilo in his position or we put Carvajal in his position, and I don't think it's fair to ask a right-footed right back, to do a good job, especially on the attacking side on the left.
And when they have been asked to do it, like most of the times they've done it right. And we're not saying they don't have the ability to do it if need be. It shouldn't be your plan. That cannot be your plan to count on a right back to perform solidly as a left back. Other positions where we see the same problem is, and this is a key thing, when we let Xabi Alonso go, and this was the whole thing that he left 3 days before the market closed, we should have seen that coming. Or number one, not let him go because we didn't have a replacement for him, or let him go having a replacement. And now we have Casemiro, but really Casemiro is the only player in that natural position. And Casemiro was supposed to be Xabi Alonso's replacement, not replacement, but substitution. But now he's the only real player we have there, because then we have Modric and Kroos and Isco and James, but none of them are natural defensive central midfielders.
Yeah, we put Kroos in that position, we put Modric in that position. I think it's fair to say that, especially Kroos, he's not the right guy for the center defensive midfield position. Yeah, he can do a decent job. He doesn't have the muscle and he doesn't have that heart that, for example, Casemiro has.
We also see this in the striker's position. We don't have really a natural replacement for Benzema. Of course, we have attacking players, we have Bale and Cristiano, but when Benzema is out, we've seen the Mayoral thing coming in. And I think that unveils good things and bad things. Good things is we're giving the academy players a chance. And it's great to see a player like Borja Mayoral or Jesse or Lucas Vazquez have their chance because they deserve it. And nowadays they're earning it, hands down. But it also talks badly about your planning if you're giving these kids a chance, not because it was part of your plan from the beginning, but it's because you have no other choice.
There was a lot of talk in the summer, Cristiano Ronaldo, he's gonna start filling that number 9 position because Jesse is back. And I think Benitez tried it. I think they've tried it before, but Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't feel comfortable in that position. He can't be a replacement, or Benzema can't be his replacement, his striker 9 position. So really, at the end of the day, we have no one. We have Borja Mayoral, as Vitaly said, yeah, he's great. He's shown a lot of heart, a lot of courage, but he's 18 years old. We can't expect him to, at the highest level, have a very good performance against a team where, let's say, for example, we need to come back in the quarterfinals or semifinals and we have, and Benzema's injured. You can't ask Borja to come in and score a goal. You can't
score 2 goals against Bayern Munich.
Yeah, you can't do that. And that just reflects, as we've said before, poor planning.
And I think, going beyond the poor planning takes it to the second point, which would be I don't think Real Madrid has had in the last years an identity, an idea of what we want to play to. And this idea could be anything. It could be, playing to counterattack, playing possession football, parking the bus, whatever it is. I feel there isn't an identity that we are committing to. And we are not planning our squad and our preseason and everything to achieve that idea on the pitch. And that idea might or not bring titles, but, I think it's key.
Absolutely. I think that, and I hate to use Barcelona as an example, but I think if a key to their success has been the fact that they've been very loyal to a style of play. They've been very loyal to something that they want to do as a club. So Real Madrid is the biggest club in the world. There's no reason. We have, there's so many different ways that we can describe ourselves as a club, but we have absolutely no identity from a sporting point of view.
Yeah.
And I think, to be honest, you might crucify me for saying this, but I think the last time we got it right was when we brought Mourinho. Like Vitaly said, you need to have at least a clear idea of what you're going to do. If you're going to play counterattacks, and that's what Mourinho did, we did that amazingly. And, Ancelotti came, and I guess, yes, he came in a transition period where he started playing more possession football, but still, the idea after Mourinho has never been very, very clear.
Yeah, and that's one of the problems we're seeing now. For example, we had Benitez who had a clear idea, but he didn't have the time to develop it, no patience, we lost some key games. And now Zidane is coming in and he finds himself with a squad that he didn't really design. And of course he has a philosophy, he wants to play a more beautiful football, possession and pressure, but he might have realized now that he doesn't really have the players now to do that. So he's going to have to wait until the end of the season, and let's see if, from the top, and Florentino, I think this is Florentino's fault, really, because Florentino is the guy with the impulses of signing, let's sign this player, but is really Florentino deciding, okay, Real Madrid should have this playing identity? I don't think so. So, he's leaving the coaches no chance of designing a squad based on an identity that they want to see on the pitch.
Absolutely, and I think that we need to leave the sporting decisions, the decisions that affect us on the pitch, to the experts, to the people that know what they're doing on the pitch.
To sum this point up, basically the idea is to have an idea and get the players that will play for that idea, and not the other way around. And not like, okay, this is the players we have, you are the coach, you deal with it. Because, we've seen this has not been very successful for us in the last years.
Absolutely.
And the last idea that we were talking is about merits. And I think this is a key thing too, because merits and, putting the players on the pitch who've earned it and deserve it and not because of their names, this will actually create an identity as a group. And this group culture that Real Madrid should have. Because that has been our identity always. People talk about the Galacticos with Florentino, but this was brought by Florentino 15 years ago. We are a club that has 100 years of history, and our real identity is being a club and a group that pushes all in the same direction.
Yeah, I mean, let's say that the core values of Real Madrid have always been hard work, have always been sacrifice. I mean, you could see it to this day in the Bernabeu when a player runs after a ball that he's clearly not going to get because it's going out the sideline, the crowd will cheer him because we appreciate a player who will give 110%, and I know it sounds cliched, but he'll give 110% and leave everything on the pitch.
And I think and this is one thing that people may not understand. Why do Bernabeu? Why do they boo the players? Is because we want sacrifice. We understand we have the best players, and if we have sacrifice, the quality and the amazing plays we take for granted because these guys are good. But if they're not, playing, they're sacrificing the most or putting the hardest effort, then maybe that quality and those amazing skills will not show. But we take for granted that if they work as hard as they can, the quality will show.
Absolutely. And also, this is also very important. If you work your ass off on the pitch and you lose the match, the fans will be behind you. Yeah. They will.
Well, Galacticos, these are some points and some things that we thought if we could change in the future, we'd see a more successful and a more happy Real Madrid fans. We hope you enjoyed it and you agree with us. And if you don't, please let us know why. Hit like and subscribe, leave your comments, and we'll see you tomorrow.